Hey amigos, hope you're all doing well. Yeah, it's been a very long time since I've posted a video and had a chat with everyone. Um, I just haven't felt entirely comfortable posting videos about experiences and various things. Um, some of it has got to do with people using it as a weapon against you. Some of it has to do with me not wanting to sound like a guru or any shit like that. And lastly, I'm just not a very photographic person. Even as a wee lad, I always ran away from the camera. So there are very few pictures that exist of me as a young boy. So it is something I'm not entirely comfortable with, but what I am comfortable with is obviously sharing things I've learned because it might just help some other people. So let's move on quickly. So one of the things I've been wanting to talk to for quite a while about, but haven't really given it much effort, and that is about being alone and feeling loneliness and the sadness that surrounds that. Um, you know, always ask the question. During the coronavirus, obviously, I've been on lockdown for quite a while. I live alone, and really since January of this year, I really haven't seen a lot of people. I've been doing my own thing, and come March, I wasn't even leaving the house. So it's been a very alone journey. I don't even know if I can use that word alone. It's been a very solitude um, journey, and so I I don't know if I really feel alone anymore because I've kind of understood that it's really something that my mind tells me I'm alone when I'm not really alone. But at the same time, I am alone. Okay, you ask me, what are you talking about? Well, I do believe we're born into this world alone. I do believe we leave this world alone. So there is no reason why in between that we're not fundamentally alone. I know we are with people, we can be with family, we can be with partners, but I've also understood, and even from my experience, knowing that you are in a relationship or in a whole group of people and you can still be alone, even when surrounded by people or surrounded by what you may consider as your partner or loved ones. So, again, that question comes, we are alone. So, okay, that's fine. Let's accept that we are all, every single human being is alone. So the next question that comes up in my being is, why is it so uncomfortable to be alone? Why is it a bad thing to be alone? Um, so this is another question I looked into. I know there is, when I speak for myself, I know there's an aspect of the reason I like to be around people is because I like to share experiences. I like to consider myself as a very generous person. So I do like to give a lot. I like to feed people. I like to entertain people. Um, so for me, that was one of the things that sort of always made me feel alone. So dissecting everything and looking at it again, um, I asked myself again is then who's feeling alone exactly? Is it my mind? Is it my body? Or is it my soul? Which one is it? Um, so I ask my soul, and my soul says, I am never alone. Okay, so it's not my soul. I ask my body, and my body goes, don't know what it means. I'm happy, I'm self sustaining. Then I ask my mind, and my mind goes, ooh, alone. That's not good because X, Y, Z, and on and on and on. So the only aspect of myself that feels alone is my mind. Okay, I'll accept that. So I moved on. Then I asked myself, okay, so what is this loneliness feeling that I get? Why do I feel lonely? In a world of so many billion people and so many trillion animals, why do I feel alone or lonely? Okay, so who is it that feels lonely? I ask my spirit. My spirit says, don't understand, I'm never lonely. Ask my body. Body is never lonely. Ask my mind. Ooh, lonely. I am so alone. I want company. I miss this. I miss that, etc., etc. So everything is coming into the mind. So, really, this whole concept of being alone, of feeling loneliness, is all here. It doesn't really have the truth in reality, in my opinion. So, then I asked myself another question. So, what's the sadness that surrounds being alone or loneliness? What's that connection? So, I ask my soul, and my soul tells me sadness is beautiful. It's everything. It's everywhere. There's nothing wrong with sadness. Okay. So I ask my body, and my body goes, yes, I know what sadness is. It's here, 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 here. And it's stopping me from doing a lot. Oh, is it? Okay. So I ask my mind, what is sadness? And I get this long commentary of intellectual blurb about explaining to me what sadness is, but it cannot define it as such. It's got a lot of interpretations to it, but no definition as such that is plausible to me. So, my next step is then to say, right, let me look at sadness. What is sadness? And I took sadness, and the first instant was the commentary that went round it. It's so awful. You should never feel sad. It is not a lovely energy. People make you feel sad. There's so much commentary around it. And when I was able to shut off the commentary and just look at it for what it was, I saw something entirely different from the concept that I've been taught to believe. When I tune into sadness, I feel a very expansive feeling. It's almost as if there's a whole universe or space within sadness. It's limitless. It just goes on and on and on. And I found it very expanding. And it also found that the energy leaves you very open. And it's very interesting because I always shied away from sadness. I was always afraid to cry, always afraid to do a lot of things, or felt uncomfortable, not afraid. And now here I am. As soon as I feel sadness, I dive into it. And, the one thing I noticed was obviously that expanding feeling that I found. The other I found was a real sense of peace. I know it sounds weird, but there was peace in that sadness. When I sat with that sadness, it felt nice. And it's a fairly beautiful energy. There's nothing wrong with it. I found that it connected me really deep into my heart. It allowed me to cry in a very nice way. It allowed my heart to go out to various situations where sadness was involved. And I think the most interesting part of it was how I was able to connect to a person, not with my mind and construct that this person is XYZ, but to really connect with a human being, that soul, and feel them and feel that sadness that's with them, but how that sadness also connects us. So we are one. And the more I understand and look at emotions, the more I recognize that these feelings, emotions connect us. And why is sadness sadness? Could it have been given another name? And would we look at it differently if it was given another name? So I've been really looking at all these aspects, really to help myself navigate through, living a very solitude life. And what I've learned from it, quite a few things. Firstly, the feeling of being alone and loneliness is really just a construct of my mind. I am never alone and I'm never lonely. My mind just tells me I am because of certain emotions or feelings or sensations that I am aware of. But when I don't let my mind interpretate those feelings, emotions, and everything else, then the feeling is far from loneliness and being alone. So, really, what I discovered was I am never alone and I am never lonely. And I'm really learning how to embody this information. Obviously, with years and years of conditioning that we shouldn't be alone and we shouldn't be doing this and loneliness is this and that and that. It takes time to override. But there's also a real beauty in being alone, almost a sacred space or existence, sorry. And I'm teaching myself to be more and more comfortable with this because the reality of life is that you may be alone all your life. And if you're not comfortable with this, then you're going to live a very disturbed life. Um, so yeah, and then obviously the sadness. Sadness is very real. This is something I've seen through my body. The mind obviously recognizes that vibration and it's got a whole host of interpretations for it. Uh, most of the ones I have are not very positive. I'm sure someone has been taught more positive aspects about sadness. So I'm teaching myself how to be with sadness, to feel it. And it is a feeling that can only be felt by the heart. So it forces your awareness to be more heart based. So you can really get a grasp of it, to feel it, to go into it, to twist in it, to ask yourself, what is this? And it really isn't anything that I ever thought it was. It's really quite a beautiful feeling. Um, it makes you cry. It brings peace. It brings connection. And it seems to bring you into your body. And then it can be enjoyed without the living commentary of your mind. So, yeah, thought I'd share that with everyone. This might not make no flipping sense to anyone, or it may make sense. Don't really care. It is my video. Um, so, yeah, thank you for listening to whoever did. It is a long video. And yeah, have a great day.